What's up, everybody? Rob Vico here, coming to you live with episode 66 of Rob Help My Marketing Sucks. I'm Rob Vico, the founder and CEO of Outrageous Promotions, and we help small businesses combine the power of direct response marketing with the power of promotional products to create outrageously effective marketing campaigns. I also have my Facebook group, Kick-Ass Marketing for Brick and Mortar Business Owners. If you've got a brick and mortar business, if you want to have a brick and mortar business, you want to jump into that group. Kick-Ass Marketing for Brick and Mortar Business Owners, we talk about how to have kick-ass marketing for your brick and mortar business. We're going to kick off this episode like we do every episode with the big ass thank you of the week. Everything good, Chris? With the big ass thank you of the week. Give me 1 second over here. Let me log on to so that I can try to respond and comment. All right, it seems like everybody hears me because I can hear myself. All right, that's a good thing. So the big ass thank you of the week this week goes out to Paloma Lev. Oh, I cut off the name of her group. Paloma has a Facebook group called Badass Communicators Club. And I jumped into her group about a year ago. I've gotten to know her a little bit. And the reason I want to give her the big thank you of the week is because she's the one that hosted the ADHD Zoom call that we had with about 6 other entrepreneurs. And I want to give her the big thank you because it really helped me realize that I have to do a better job of managing my ADHD. I've been dealing with it my whole life, and I've never really figured out ways to manage it other than medication, which I don't really like to take. So I haven't done anything to manage my ADHD. And in that call, it opened my eyes to a world of things that I can do to better manage it. And she also, in that call, I got to meet Brian, who runs a group. I think it's Unstoppable ADHD. So I connected with Ryan, jumped to his group, jumped into his program, and I'm making 2018 the year of the ADHD. And I wanted to give Paloma a big kick-ass thank you for setting up that call and for introducing me to Brian, which I'm hoping is going to make a big difference in the way that I manage myself and my productivity. So today, we're going to talk about something every small business owner wants, every entrepreneur wants, and that is leads. And we're going to talk about a simple way to capture leads that can be done very simple, but we as entrepreneurs tend to complicate it. And that's as simple as putting out a lead magnet, driving them to a lead capture page, and that's it. That's all you need to do to generate leads, right? Now, it's not that simple, but it doesn't have to be that complicated either. So I'm going to go through the basic 4 or 5 things that you need to be aware of, that you need to put in place to start generating leads without overly complicating things. And the way we're going to generate these leads is we're going to use a lead magnet. We're going to use that lead magnet. We're going to drive them to a lead capture page. We're going to have an opportunity to make them an offer on our thank you page. We're going to jump them into an autoresponder, which is basically just a series of emails that are written and scheduled to go out in the order that you put once we get a lead in. And then we're going to create an irresistible offer. There's no point in gathering leads if we're not going to create an irresistible offer. Hey, Elena, thanks for tuning in. We're talking about leads. We're talking about, is it leads you're looking for? No, not a very good Lionel Richie. All right, so let me get focused here. This is why I can't monitor comments, because I get distracted. Yes, Helena, we do complicate it, and it doesn't have to be complicated. The only one thing that you got to somewhat do is you got to follow the 3 E's. You got to create a lead magnet that's going to engage your prospect, it's going to entertain your prospect, and then we can educate your prospect. I got a chance to hang out with Luis Alvarado while he was in Miami last week, and this is one of the things that I was talking to him about, my 3E formula, right? You got to engage, you got to entertain, and then we can go ahead and educate. And you got to do it in that order. If you try to educate people before you engage them, you're going to lose them. And if you try to educate people without entertaining them, you're going to lose them, right? I've used the example before, why I do this show, why I did this set, right? I think you all would not have tuned in to 66 episodes if I was just sitting at my desk talking about marketing. So I had to find a way to make it more entertaining, make it more engaging. The name of the show, Rob Help My Marketing Sucks, that's a name that engages people, that gets their attention. So once I can get their attention, then I can somewhat entertain them with my set, and then I can start to educate them on some of the things they need to do for their marketing. So when you're going to do lead generation, we want to follow the 3 E's. And when we do lead generation, the reason we want to use a lead magnet, the reason we want to use content is because I always say people love to buy, but they hate to be sold. So if I were to ask people that are watching now or on the replay, if I were to ask you, what do you tell a salesman when you walk into a furniture store? Okay, so let me use the example. You get in your car with your wife, your girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever it is, and you decide you're going to go buy a couch. You walk into the furniture store, salesman greets you, "Hi, how are you? Welcome to Rooms to Go. How can we help you?" What do you say? What do you say? 99% of us are going to have the same exact response, which is, "No, thank you, we're just looking," which is a bullshit answer. You're there to buy a couch. It would be much easier to buy the couch if you told the salesperson, "I want a couch that's leather, I need it to be off-white, I want it to recline, I need it to be 72 inches long." That would make the whole process a lot easier. The reason we don't do that is because we're there to buy a couch, but we don't want you selling us a couch. So we prefer to walk around the showroom and make our own informed decision, and then we'll turn to the sales rep and tell them, "Hey, this is the couch that we're interested in," right? Which is a good spot to be in. Now, I use the same analogy, meaning if you use your marketing to put content, to put valuable, informative, helpful content in front of a prospect, it's going to help them make the buying decision on their own. It's they're going to pick out the couch before they call you. By the time they turn around to the sales rep, they've already picked out the couch. That's what we want to do. We want our marketing to drive them in, and we want our content to help them pick out the couch, make the buying decision on their own, and when they contact us, the selling is much easier. I'm not trying to say, "Hey, you want to buy, you want to buy, you want to buy." That's not what you want to do. So in order to put that valuable, informative, helpful content in front of someone, we got to kind of figure out what are their frustrations, what are their pain points, or what is it that's going to bring them joy, what's going to solve the problem for them, right? And we can do that with surveys. We can do that just surveying your existing client list. You can do that with an email survey. You can do that with a Facebook survey, and get a feel for what your prospect's pain points are. What is that your prospect needs solved? What is that your prospect is slamming their head against the wall with? What is that's going to make your prospect's life easier, funner, more rewarding, make more money? Once we figure that out, then we can create a lead magnet that we know is going to appeal to our target market. Okay. Now let me talk to you a little bit about what are the different types of lead magnets we can do. Because when I talk to entrepreneurs and I talk to them about a lead magnet, most of them look at me like, "Well, I don't know what you mean by a lead magnet," right? There's lots of different things that we can create a lead magnet. Depending on the business you're in, you're gonna want to tweak that, whether you're in business to business or you're in business or in B2C, and also depending on the position of your brand is going to kind of dictate a little bit on what direction you're going to go with as far as how you're going to create that lead magnet, how you're going to create that piece of content. Let me see if I'm switching my slides here. All right, so you can do a CD. You can do an audio. You don't like to write? You can talk it out, put it on a CD. You can also make that CD appear to be in an interview format, right? You can get a friend, you can get your business partner, your spouse to ask you some questions and record you while you're answering it and make it into an interview format. There's a cool trick that I learned a couple of years ago from Dave D at one of the GKIC events, where you can make this look even more professional. Go on Fiverr, and hire someone that has that radio announcer voice, that broadcaster voice. Is that a good broadcaster voice that I did there? Not too good. That has that voice, and pay them to record the 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever, how many questions you have, and then record yourself answering those questions. Then go back on Fiverr, find an editor, and have him edit the recording of the person you hired on Fiverr to ask the questions, and record you answering the questions, edit it together, and now it appears to be a professional interview that you were on. You can burn that on a CD, and you can use the CD. You can use a free report. That could be a PDF. It could be an ebook. I don't recommend an ebook or a physical book just yet, because your lead is probably not ready in coming in touch or coming across your content. They may not be ready to commit to reading a 30-page ebook or reading a 100-page physical book. So a cheat sheet, a 5-tip guide, something that's quick and easy to consume is where you want to get to. You would be able to, what we need to do is draw them in. Once we have them in, we can continue to send them more content. So the initial piece of content needs to be short and brief. And from there, we can go into longer copy, longer content. You can also do the free report. You can print those out and you can mail those out to people, right? So a lead magnet doesn't have to be only a digital product. You can have a physical lead magnet that you're going to mail out to people, and that works very well if you have a brick and mortar business and you want to capture physical addresses. For me, for my business, I want to capture physical addresses. I want to mail them samples of items. I want to mail them outrageous campaigns. I want to mail them catalogs. So for me, doing a physical printed or a physical item like the book is an easy way, because I can use the lead magnet, drive them to my lead capture page, get their name, email, and then I have to get their address in order to mail them the free report or mail them out the book or the product sample or whatever that might be. You can do a series of online videos. You can drive them to your video series in the landing page. They put in their name and email, and then they get access to the videos, and you can set it up in your autoresponder where if you're saying, like I have for my next 100 clients program, I have a 3-day mini video course. And once they sign up, on day 1, they get the video on attracting. On day 2, they get the video on converting. And on day 3, they get the video on nurturing. So in those 3 days, they're going to get a series of videos that's going to show them how to attract prospects, how to convert prospects, and then how to nurture those prospects. You can do a downloadable MP3. You can do an audio file. You can do a DVD. You can do a book, an ebook. You can do a teleseminar. That's an on-the-phone conference. You can do a webinar. You can host a local workshop. You can combine things. There's so many ways. You can use a coupon. One of the big lead magnets out there now is you do a Groupon style offer. You'll see this happening a lot with chiropractors and dentists. They'll have a lead magnet for a free whitening or a free back adjustment, right? That's their lead magnet. They're not necessarily going on just content, but they're going on content along with a discount, a coupon, or some other incentive to get you into their physical location. So those are some of the ways that you can do your lead magnet. Once you got your lead magnet set up, you want to run them to a lead capture page or a landing page, a squeeze page. It's got different terms. In this example, it's going to be a lead capture page, because what we want that page to do is simply capture the lead. Here's an example of one that I did for my Next Level Mastermind group. So if you were interested in joining my Next Level Mastermind group, when the next one opened up, you would simply go here, put your name and email, and you can get on the waiting list and get informed of when we open up the new mastermind group. Now the reason, so I was recently working with an accountant, and they were concerned about having to send people here, and why don't they send people to their website? They're like, we already spent all this money on our website, we're already spending money to host our website, why don't we just send them there? Well, the reason you want to send them to a lead page, a squeeze page, a landing page, is because this is the only thing that they can do here. The only thing they can do when they get to that page is give your name and email in exchange for the content, in exchange for the lead magnet, or leave. When they land on your website, there's too many distractions. There's the home page, the About Us page, the Who We Service page, our blog, check this out, check that out. All that distraction is going to take them away from what it is you want them to do, which is enter their name and email. Now you can set it up in a way where once they put their name and email, you can then reroute them into your website, right? At that point, we've already captured the information we want, so no harm in letting them go over there and click around and see what else you have to offer. But try to keep it just to this page, and you want to use, if you can use a vanity domain for it, right? So if your accounting practice is Vico and Vico Associates, right, that may not be the best, most memorable way to drive them there. So you want to use something that engages people, right? So the name of the website that you're sending them to can be what engages people, right? Don't paymoretaxes.com, right? Just a random example. That is more memorable, that's more engaging, and that's going to be more of a push to get me to that site than to go to Vico and Vico and Associates, right? So that's another thing you can do. Once you got them on your landing page and they put their name and email, what's going to happen next is going to be what's called the thank you page, okay? That page can be as simple as, hey, thank you for downloading our free report, thank you for requesting this, or it could be thank you for your interest, here's your coupon to come get an adjustment or a free teeth whitening, whatever it is that you offer. But this is also an opportunity where you can try to make a sale. You can try to get an upsell. They can call it a tripwire. You can call it a one-time offer, a free plus shipping offer. However it is you want to work that, this is your opportunity to try to get something in front of them. Okay, if you can take them from prospect to client that quickly, that's the ideal spot to be in. And you'll notice that this happens a lot with digital marketing, where there'll be the one-time offer, the tripwire, which will be a $7, $17, something small. That's not a very big buying decision, but what that does is it gets the prospect to start getting comfortable with buying from you. Once they make that first purchase, whether it be a $1 purchase, a $17 purchase, or a $17,000 purchase, they are now your client. So we've taken them from prospect to client very, very quickly. So those are some of the things you can do on your thank you page. If you don't want to have an offer, then you can use your thank you page as what we would call in offline marketing as a stick letter, which is basically a letter that's making the buying decision stick. In this case, it's making the decision to take a step forward. We want to make that decision stick. And we make that stick by saying something like, hey, thank you. You made a very smart decision in downloading this free report. It's going to help you achieve blah, 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 right? And that reinforces that action that I just took. Once they've taken that action, once they've taken, wow, the hearts and the likes are blowing up here. Thank you, guys. I just kind of switching from the slides back to the Facebook, and I just saw like a wave of hearts and likes. So thank you, guys. This is why I can't do I can't. What was I saying? Let me just go back to the slides. Oh, yes. So once you get them in your thank you page, then you can set up an email service like a Constant Contact, AWeber, MailChimp. I put up some of the top 3 that I thought of. I've used Constant Contact, I've used MailChimp, I've used AWeber, and now I'm using ActiveCampaign. No real rhyme or reason to why I switch. I find one little thing that frustrates me or doesn't work well, and then I start looking around, and somebody will suggest something else, and then I'll jump in there and try to see. But what you want to do is you want to create a series of maybe 3 to 5 emails that will automatically go out, and that's why it's called an autoresponder. It'll automatically send out these emails. So when someone clicks on your lead magnet, jumps over to your landing page, gives them the name and email, once that name and email is captured by the landing page, it's going to shoot it over here to one of your email service providers, and then it'll automatically start to send out those emails. So, for example, if Christina jumped in, she goes to my landing page, gives her name and email, she gets her thank you page, then she's going to get emails for the next 3 to 5 days. Now, these emails can be very, very important. They're very, very critical into how you're going to take them from prospect to client, okay? So you want to try to do a series of indoctrination, a series of emails that's going to show them the value of working with you, the value of your solution, how you work, the results you're going to get, okay? So you might want to, here's what I do. I take Dr. Cialdini's class R, his 6 triggers of influence, which is commitment and consistency, liking, authority, social proof, scarcity, and reciprocity. I take those and I create a series of 6 emails, each one touching on those 6 different things, and that is what would be put into the autoresponder. That's a series, that's a sequence of emails that will go out as an indoctrination series, and I'm using the 6 triggers of human influence to influence the buying decision, to influence them to say, hey, this is the right choice for us to work with. So, and then once we've taken them from prospect, we've put them into our funnel, we're funneling them now, we got them into our auto sequence. Now the next step is obviously we got to make them an offer, right? There's no point in generating the leads, no point in putting all of the valuable, informative content to help the lead pick out the couch on their own, but at some point we have to make the sale, at some point we have to write up that order for the couch. And we do that by creating an irresistible offer, by creating an offer that is such a no-brainer, by creating an offer that is so irresistible that you'd have to be an idiot to pass up on it. And I'm going to show you one of the greatest examples. I should have taken an example of some of the irresistible offers I create for my clients. I just created one for Daniel from Social Biz Flow. I should have used that one as an example. But I turned to the old, most iconic irresistible offer in direct response marketing, which is the free Las Vegas vacation. I know you can't really read that all very well, but I got some bullet points here to show you what is it they're offering in here and what made this offer so irresistible that they were able to not just sell out this hotel constantly, but they were able to build a second property with the money they made on this offer. So you'll notice it has the big headline at the top, right? That's meant to get your attention. Free Las Vegas vacation, right? That gets attention. People want to get a free vacation and they want to go to Vegas. So now, we got some copy here that I'm going to break down into bullet points here. So act now to receive a virtually free Las Vegas vacation. I have something now on the message here. Las Vegas vacation for $198 per person or $396 per couple. I will put you up in a luxurious mini suite in an exciting Las Vegas hotel right on the famous strip. I'll give you free tickets to a show with top name entertainers. I'll put a bottle of chilled champagne in your room for free. I'll let you drink as much as you want for free, whether you're at the gaming tables, slots, or just in one of the lounges. I'll have you $1,000 of money to gamble with for free, plus I'll let you keep all of your winnings. I'll guarantee you'll win a color TV, VCR, or full diamond ring. Obviously, I'm not going to give this incredible deal to everybody in the whole world. There can only be a small number of these vacation packages available. First come, first serve. Right? So in the end there, they put a little scarcity. That's probably some bullshit false scarcity. I mean, I guess a hotel will eventually get booked, so maybe the scarcity isn't so false. But that's how you create an irresistible offer. And you do that with bonus after bonus after bonus, with value after value after value. And you want to put dollar signs to everything you're giving them, right? That's how you create an irresistible offer. People are going to be much more prone to jumping into that offer than if you were to put out your straight ordinary offer that you're constantly offering, right? It has to be something that's irresistible. It has to be something that's so over the top, because what we want to do is get them in as our client, right? We're going to get them in on the front end, and once we have them in as a client, then there's so many other opportunities that we have to sell to them and upsell them and cross-sell them into our different products or services. In my case, I do screen printing, embroidery, and promotional products. So if we do an irresistible campaign to bring them in with embroidery, let's say, and once we bring them in, then we can cross-sell them into, hey, t-shirts and promotional items. And vice versa, if they order the promotional items from me, then from there I can cross-sell them into t-shirts and into polo shirts. Or I can create this one big irresistible offer that's going to give them everything. It's going to give them screen-printed t-shirts, embroidered apparel for your in-house staff and your sales rep. It's going to give you the promotional items for your trade show. I bundle all of that together. That makes that offer irresistible. That's what you want to get to, creating an irresistible offer. Oh, this is just a sample of how you can lay out your lead magnet. This is an example of how you complicate it. This is what I did when I first put out my lead magnet for my free book offer. This is how badly I complicated it. I had this entire mind map that funneled them into, if they say yes here, then they go here. If they say no there, they go this way. And then from here, they get the sequence. And if they say yes to this one, then they get a... And what did I do? I overly complicated. How well did that work? Terrible. That didn't work very well at all because I overly complicated, right? It's not as simplistic as I put it out here for you, but I only got 30 minutes, so I can only give you the core, right? The most important thing of this whole process is you have to have the landing page. Don't send them to your website. You have to do a little survey ahead to get a feel for what your prospects want so that the lead magnet that we create is appealing to them. You got to follow the 3 E's: engage, entertain, educate. When you're going to then simply set up an email service, MailChimp is free. I think it's free for up to like 1,000 contacts or something. So if you don't got a big budget, you can still pull this off. Landing page, engagement, and then you have to follow that through with your irresistible offer. I would suggest that you create your irresistible offer first, because once you have that irresistible offer first, then in your autoresponder sequence, you can start dropping some of the things that are in there. Okay, let me see if I can come up with a quick example of how you would do this. So when I create my wow packages for clients, I usually create a buying criteria checklist, right? And that's supposed to present in the mind of the prospect what they should be looking for when they go out to hire your product or service. Okay, so if you're an accountant and you are one of the few accountants that offers audit insurance. Okay, so let's say I do your tax return, and I guarantee you that if your tax return gets red flagged and audited, I will represent you in that audit free of charge. Okay, that's something very unique to an accountant. So in your indoctrination series, when they start to get that series of emails, you want to talk about that. You want to say, hey, when you go out there and you want to find an accountant to work with, make sure that the accountant will cover you in case he makes a mistake on your tax return. You're covered. He will represent you and handle that for free. So you're putting that in your indoctrination series without trying to sell anything. And then when we create the irresistible offer, that loops back around. So we already planted in the prospect's mind that you got to work with an accounting firm that's going to offer you audit insurance. Then our irresistible offer, boom, guess what? Hey, we offer audit insurance. See how that that works. You want to kind of prime their mind as to what they need to be looking for, and then you want to drop that into your irresistible offer. All right, we're going to wrap up this episode. One quick last plug for my group. It's my Facebook group, Kick-Ass Marketing for Brick and Mortar Business Owners. You can jump in there, and we get into a lot more depth on these topics that we talk about here on the show. And I'm going to wrap up this episode like we do every episode with our WTF Marketing Moment of the Week. Now, not quite sure what the logic was in this real estate agent expecting people to scan the QR code as they're driving 70 miles an hour on the highway. It's not going to happen. I'm not quite sure what the logic was. I'm not quite sure that anybody that she showed this to, maybe her husband, she said, honey, you really think people can scan that at 70 miles an hour and have to zoom in their phone? I'm just amazed sometimes. You know, it's funny because it's like you want to do the right things and you hear, oh, QR codes, but then you don't do any research. You don't learn how it works. What are the best strategies to use it? And you just go out there and do something like this. It's just, and then you come out on my show as a WTF Marketing Moment of the Week. When you're going to do billboards, guys, stick to one clean, simple message, either one big 800 number, preferably a vanity number like 1-800-ATTORNEYS or attorneys.com. You can't have a very big message. You can't expect people to scan a QR code if they're driving 70 miles down the highway. And then I'm going to leave you all with this one. I don't think this needs any words. This is for Tesco nut milk. I guess it's a sort of almond milk, and by the fact that it's liters, it's probably I don't know where is this product originates from, but this is Tesco nut milk, and I'm not quite sure what it is that they're trying to convey with this image. I can tell you, seeing it a little closer, there seems to be like a picture here, which might be a picture of milk. And I don't know if the milk is kind of orange color, and I have no idea what this is, but this part here does not look like anything that I would want you pouring into my cup. And then the design looking like that, and then it being called nut milk, this is just bizarre. I have no idea where this came from, what country this is. What I do know is I don't want any of this nut milk in my coffee, in my cup, in my cereal. That's what I got for you guys today. I'm Rob Vico signing off. I'll see you next Monday at 2 o'clock for another episode of Rob Help My Marketing Sucks.